Well, good morning. I am delighted to have the opportunity to sign Senate Bill 30, or House, is it Senate Bill? House Bill 3596 today. As you know, I'm a very strong supporter of rail in this state, very interested in seeing it expand. It's a very cost-effective way to move goods and to expand capacity, particularly in a time of fiscal constraints. It also reduces our dependence on fossil oil and improves our environment. This particular bill is a part of that commitment. It's a big step forward in terms of restoring rail service to an integral part of the economy of our South Coast and also the economy of the state of Oregon. With so many businesses in the South Coast struggling today, the closure of this link made a bad situation even worse, particularly since local businesses were shipping about 6,000 rail loads a year just 5 years ago from the South Coast. So by reestablishing this rail line, we reconnect the only deep water coastal harbor between San Francisco and Puget Sound to a major rail line, which will certainly help with our state's mobility, will create jobs and economic activity in a place that desperately needs it. I want to thank all my colleagues, particularly the Speaker and Senator Berger for their work in getting this bill, and a particular thanks to Congressman DeFazio for his efforts in Washington, D.C. and in the state to make this bill a reality. So I'd like to ask the Congressman if he'd like to make a few comments here.
Well, this is a story that is fairly extraordinary, but I'll be brief. You know, it's just a few years ago now that one day, precipitously, a Wall Street hedge fund decided that we weren't going to have rail service to Coos Bay and Coquille anymore. They'd bought the line, but they really didn't want it, but they didn't want to sell it either. They just wanted to abandon it, rip up the rails, sell them for scrap, and that would be the end of that story. They didn't care. Well, working with the port and other officials, and then Governor Kulongoski, we went to the Surface Transportation Board, and we forced the Wall Street hedge fund to sell the line at a reasonable price. And we had a federal partnership, a state partnership, about 50-50 on purchasing the line. And since then, we've had a continued partnership between the state and some federal money I've been able to get to repair the line, restore service. We're looking to the restoration of service later this summer. It's not only going to be good for the existing businesses down there to save them a tremendous amount of money on shipping, it's going to be good for the future of this port. As John said, it's an extraordinary asset, underutilized, and we expect with good rail service up to the main line, we will be able to attract new businesses and new jobs to this region, benefiting the entire South Coast. So it's a great day here in Oregon, and I'm so pleased the legislature had the wisdom to support this and to help pass this legislation. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Congressman. Senator Berger.
Well, I think that House Bill 3596 just puts the finishing touch on a lot of hard work that the Port of Coos Bay has been doing over the past few years. For the shippers, it's going to be a red letter day because they have had to ship otherwise when the rail line was not there. And for those who still dream about putting their product on a rail line, this is going to be great news because it's going to allow the Port of Coos Bay to operate its line beyond its existing authority right now because it goes through other port authorities. And so I just want to thank my legislators and colleagues for all the support that they have given to us for the International Port of Coos Bay during these times. It's been really very heart-rending, the kind of people that have stepped up and said, we need to support the International Port of Coos Bay that have been representing areas all over the state of Oregon. Thank you, and I'm going to slip away. We're under the call, so they're waiting on me. Thank you.
How are you going to vote before you leave?
Oh, he knows what it is.
Speaker Roblan.
Very good. This is really an important moment in continuing to make sure that this rail line starts being the productive economic engine that we need it to be for the South Coast, and actually all of Oregon. And you know, I think Senator Verger said it really well. If you look at the legislators that are here, that rail line goes through some of all of their districts. And it was, these are difficult kinds of bills when you start talking about annexing a little strip through everything so that you actually have control over it. But every one of them came and recognized the importance of that, along with all of our Southern Oregon legislators. It's not a party thing. This is about economic development. This is about making the system work for all of us. And I am really proud of all the people who came together to take care of each hurdle along the way. I mean, we believe this is that last hurdle that gets everything done so that we can get this rail line opened up and moving at a much better rate of speed so that its economic viability will be enhanced, and we hope that by October. So we are excited to be here today, really excited that Representative DeFazio, Congressman DeFazio, was able to help with us and bring that partnership from the federal government so that this shows how government really can work to help an economic engine in a local and regional area. So I thank everybody for the opportunity to be here.
I see Arnie already signed it.
Congratulations.